Hello, class. I'd like to close out Unit C on political parties by taking a look at with you at Section 5. So hopefully you've read Section 5 in your textbook, and if you have a printout, you can follow along the lecture for Chapter 5, Section 5, political party. And we're going to look at the organization behind the scenes of the party. We're not looking at the actual people running for office, but rather the administrative people that go to the meetings, plan the elections, work on writing the platforms and things of that nature. So let's take a look at that together just for a minute. As I mentioned, they're decentralized from one state to another. How does the machinery work at the national, but also then there's quite a bit done at the state or even the local level. So let's take a look. First of all, both are highly decentralized. Well, yes, they do have a national party organization with the chairman or chairwoman and national committee members. However, a Republican in Grand Rapids area is going to be quite a bit different than a Republican meeting held in New York City, for example, or Los Angeles. Even though technically they're both a Republican Party meeting, there's going to be a lot of different focus, even different stances on different platform items, thus decentralized and fragmented. Especially for the party out of power. Currently, as we record this lecture, that would be the Republican Party. The president at present is a Democrat. So the Republicans have no clear leader, as you probably could tell if you read the newspaper or follow some of the would-be Republican nominees. There's quite a few different people and ideas out there. So this causes decentralization. Also, the nominating process can pit one party member against another quite often, and you'll see that coming up in the next election cycle, that many Republicans will be attacking each other in order to get the nomination, as well as the Democrats will do the same. There is a national party machinery, as I mentioned. There's a national chairperson, which you're going to find out in your activities soon. And they're going to support the national campaign committees. The national committee will meet and talk about overall strategy, fundraising, and these types of things will be set at the national level. There's also a state level. There is a state Republican Party that would meet probably in Lansing. You're going to put that on your PowerPoint, or a Democrat Party headquarters. There's also a Grand Rapids or Kent County, a county headquarters for each of the two main parties. There could even be a headquarters in your city or your smaller area than even the county. So sometimes you'll see. Now the smallest is a precinct. Now not all precincts would have a meeting of a party meeting, but some might, and you could maybe ferret that out by looking on the internet for such an opportunity. There are three components then of the party. For the purposes of Section 5, we're talking about the blue box, the party as an organization. Most of us would fall into the red box, the party electorate, those who usually vote with their party. For many of you, it might be Republican. For others, maybe Democratic, but you may not attend a lot of meetings or run for any kind of office. So therefore, you would be in the red box, party electorate, where you can be counted on to vote. Now, if you were to get more involved, you could join the blue box, which is the party organization. You could volunteer, go to the meetings, even become a delegate, to help form policy and so forth. And if you were super ambitious, you could actually try to get into the white box, which is to be an actual person who would run for office, get elected, and then take up an office in, say, Congress, or, you know, ultimately governor or even president as your party representative. The parties have been weakened of late, not just because of the minor parties that we studied last unit or last section, but also because of the modern society that we live, the different media outlets. There's a lot of the internet, other things, funding opportunities that can bypass the major parties. Voters are less willing to jump in wholeheartedly into one party or another. Candidates can now, again, create their own YouTube channel. They can use social media. They're not as dependent on the party for party building and for financial reasons. Also, the growth of single issue parties, which have really focused and garnered a lot of attention lately with people who are dissatisfied with economics, mostly economic problems. So we're going to next take a look at the party organization of either the Democrats or Republicans for your next activity in Google Classroom. You're going to make a chart of the power structure behind the scenes of one party or the other.